Meeting of the Waxahachie Independent School District Board of Trustees to order. Please let this record show that we have 6 trustees that are present. This meeting has been duly called and the notice of the meeting has been duly posted for time and manner required by law. At this time, we were going to go to closed session according to section 551.001 et sec of the Texas Government Code. It is now 5 p.m. We are going to reconvene back into open session. At this time, I'll ask Mr. McCutcheon to lead us in invocation, followed by our pledges of allegiance by Lucas Cron from Shackwood Elementary and Liberty McDowell and Inez Pantoya from Waxahachie High School.
Okay, let's pray. Lord, we thank you for this day. Thank you for your guidance and everything you do for us on a daily basis. Please help us tonight with the decisions we make, that they be the best for our school district, our teachers, our kids, and all of our staff. We love you. Thank you for sending your son to die on the cross for us. In your son's holy name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Our vision is to be a district where innovation thrives and growth is limitless.
We value choices because they make us unique and are critical to learning.
We value a collaborative culture that honors and supports all who positively impact the lives of our students.
We value an environment of belonging that respects individual differences and ensures equality for all.
We value relationships that broaden learning experiences and enrich our community.
Next item on our agenda is our recognitions. Ms. Bridges, I believe we have a few of those this evening.
We do. Good evening, Board and Dr. Hollingsworth. I'm so excited. We have several fantastic students and staff members to recognize. I'm going to get started with Ms. Tanya Harris and a WHS graduate.
Board, Dr. Hollingsworth, Dr. Averett. Tonight, I would like to present to you a summer graduate. Miss Naomi Martinez has met the requirements of WISD to receive her diploma. Ms. Martinez finished her graduation requirements during summer, and tonight we would like to honor her and give her her diploma. Let me stand in front. Naomi, you may turn your tassel. You may turn your tassel, Naomi. Congratulations.
Board, I'd like to invite Ms. Harris to come back up and recognize some WHS great citizens.
Okay. I would like to actually invite Michael Arnold to come up and join me. Mr. Arnold actually has a story to tell about some amazing WHS students. Mr. Arnold, welcome.
I really wasn't expecting to talk, so there was one day that my wife and I were riding bikes at the park, and as I was coming up on this group of kids, cross-country runners, there was about 10 of them, and they were all running, so I thought, well, I'll just go around them. So I got off the path, got on the grass, and went around them, and I could see that the pavement and the grass wasn't exactly even. So when I tried to get back up on the path, I fell. And I hit the concrete, which I felt like it was pretty hard. But as things were going through my mind, I was thinking, these kids behind me are going to be laughing, and they're going to go right by me. To my surprise, all of them stopped, and they came up to me and they said, "Hey, are you okay?" I mean, they were all just huddled around me. And then when I felt I could get up, they helped me up. And I got back on my bike, my wife and I, and as we was riding away, they said, "We hope y'all have a nice day." And just want to let y'all know that out of an act of kindness like that, there was a quote, and all I can remember is, when you do an act of kindness, it causes a ripple effect, and that ripple effect never ends. I went and told everybody at work when I got there. And so I sent an email to Ms. Harris and one of your coaches, and I just want to tell you that my wife said, "What a great group of kids," and that just made her day, and made mine too. So thank you very much, and I just wanted to have the opportunity to ask y'all to continue to be good young ladies and gentlemen like you are, because it made me proud to be living in Waxahachie, and it made me proud to see kids like y'all. Thank you.
And we're honoring Whitley Blankenship, Lindsay Giles, Brock Morales, Drake Morales, Lucas Witt, Graham Scott, Matthew Young, and Eli Nance. And as your principal, you made me very, very proud.
All right, guys, next I'd like to invite Greg Reed, our athletic director, to come up.
Coach Fawcett, Coach Stoops, Coach Weber, anybody else that's with you guys, come on up. Or roll up, whichever it is. All right, so proud of Coach Dela Cruz and our cross-country guys and gals. So good evening, trustees, Dr. Hollingsworth and Cabinet. It is a privilege to again present another amazing moment in the Waxahachie ISD Athletic Department. In 2001, Coach Sandy Fawcett came to Waxahachie ISD to become the head coach of the Waxahachie Indian volleyball program. Before that, she served as the head volleyball coach at both Greenville and Highland Park High School. Since her arrival to Waxahachie High School, the Indians have made the playoffs every year, and 10 of those years, she's advanced to the regional tournament and the final 16 teams. Coach Fawcett has achieved career victory milestones 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, all while head coach at Waxahachie. On August 29th against Georgetown, Coach Fawcett earned career victory 900. She has been the Ellis County Coach of the Year, All-District Coach of the Year multiple times, and most recently recognized by the Texas Volleyball Insider as the Coach of the Week. She currently has an ongoing record, and that record as of now is 664 wins and 219 losses as the head coach of the Indians. She is the 7th most winningest coach in the state of Texas. Coach Fawcett, it is an honor to celebrate your milestone victory of 900 career wins with our district leadership tonight. Congratulations.
She's got a little flair, doesn't she?
No, you got to come to the mic. Come on.
I usually avoid speaking in a microphone at all costs. I really don't like it, but 900 wins is a big number, but it's not a one-woman show. You know, I've worked with the best people, and I have the most supportive husband, and I work with a great kids, and this community has made it so easy to be successful. And that starts with the support I get by the school board and by the high school principal and by the community members. I mean, you guys just make it so easy. And I left Highland Park to come here, and I never looked back. And I thought when I walked in the door, I was greeted by the high school principal in the most positive way. And I thought, and this is where I need to be. And I knew it the minute I walked in, and I've loved it ever since. So I just want to say thank you for being so supportive and making my job just a wonderful, wonderful job. So I appreciate you guys.
Well, now that Coach Fawcett's made everyone cry, I'd like to invite Veronica Schaefer, principal of Shackelford Elementary, to come up.
All right. Good evening, Board of Trustees, Dr. Hollingsworth. I am Veronica Schaefer, and I'm the proud principal at Shackelford Elementary. Tonight, I am going to recognize our WADA teacher. Shackelford this year is partnering with Whataburger to recognize not just teachers, but also students. And so our award is presented for the month of August to Lori Juarez. She was nominated by her peers, and this is what they had to say. Lori Juarez is a champion for children, and she goes above and beyond the call of duty to ensure that all students grow. This year, she has transitioned into a new role, and she is executing this role with grit and tenacity. We are lucky to have a teacher like Lori Juarez at Shackelford Elementary, and it is an honor to recognize her this evening. So I present to you Lori Juarez, our WADA teacher. So this evening, I would like to highlight several positive things that have happened on campus this year. Shackelford is a place where innovation thrives and growth is limitless. This year, our committee for PBIS, which is our Positive Behavior Intervention and Supports, reflected on the past 2 years and what we wanted for students as we celebrate what they bring to our campus. And so this year, a positive behavior support that we have brought back that's been a Shackelford tradition is Brave Bucks. So students earn Brave Bucks throughout the day for positive behavior, and they get to cash in the rewards on Fridays at our Tribe Cart. It has been so fun to see students excited about putting their funds together to possibly earn a campus or a classroom recess, or purchasing maybe a mystery party, which was bingo this last Friday, for $30. So in addition to providing a positive spin on behavior, it's also helped with financial literacy. This year, we also, this summer, worked towards a pumpkin patch. This was spearheaded by one of our teachers, Ms. Rostetter, and so we just sent this out in an email, and she said, hey, we're going to put a pumpkin patch together, and we have had several community members come by that want to be a part of this, and so this is the beginning stages of our pumpkin patch, and it has turned into this. It's turned into limitless possibilities where students get to come and explore and enjoy nature. We go and we take nature walks, if you will, where students get to see pumpkins peeking through the vines. And Ms. Rostetter has gone the extra mile as well, and she's providing many lessons for students about the pumpkin life cycle and sunflower life cycle. So if you ever make it out to Shackelford, we would love to show you the pumpkin patch. In addition to being innovative, we know that a good way to grow students is making sure that they're on campus. And so this year, our PBIS committee also looked at how can we ensure that we're celebrating students when they are on campus. So an initiative that we have started is that every time that a classroom has perfect attendance, they get to color in a letter for the day. And there are 5 days in a week, and so they get to color in one of those letters. It does not start over each week. It's just consistent. We're looking for perfect attendance. Those 5 days spell out brave, and we have partnered with State Farm, Brenna and Adam Rope, and they provide popsicles for our students. So teachers have the opportunity to choose when they would like to provide students with that treat, and possibly even venture into the garden to enjoy being on campus. Also this year, you'll notice that we have new flooring throughout the building, and it is absolutely beautiful. It has changed the tone for what our students and how our families see our campus, and it has been truly a blessing. So thank you so much for your approval of having the new flooring put in at Shackelford. And coupled with that, every classroom received new rugs. And so it has been a joy to see students meeting for morning meetings at their new rugs in a cozy seat. Oh, my attendance incentive is working. Thank you for that, Dr. Hollingsworth. Last week, we had 4 days of 98% classroom attendance, and on Friday, we had first grade was perfect attendance across the board. So we really have seen the success of that. Thank you for that. And then last but not least, Shackelford is truly a place where growth is limitless. If you do come out to campus, hopefully here in the coming days, you will see that we will have growth dots where students will get to demonstrate their growth from last year that is based on our district MAP assessment, which is a diagnostic, and students at this point are tracking their own personal goals. So every student has a data binder from kindergarten to 5th grade where we are going to show them that their growth is truly limitless. Thank you so much, and we hope that you make it out to Shackelford soon.
Thank you, Mrs. Schaefer. Finally, I'd like to invite Tanya Harris to come back up.
Tonight, I have the honor to present an amazing group of young men and young ladies, gentlemen and women, that has really, they've gone above and beyond for WHS. Andy Reeves and Stephen Mott, if y'all could bring your crew and come on up. These two guys are amazing. No matter what time of day or night, they always answer my phone call. Knowing that I'm on the other end of the phone, probably with some sort of crisis, water leak, ceiling tile falling, something. But they always answer my call, and that means a lot. But in special circumstances, we needed more desks this year. And after we were finally able to locate desks, thanks to the help of Wendy Ross and Ryan Calden, these gentlemen, along with many others, took their weekend and went to WHS, put together 300 desks and chairs, and distributed those desks and chairs throughout the building, making sure that their principal, who has really bad OCD and had to have all the desks match in every classroom, they would pull out the old desk and put the new desk in and make sure that new desk and old desk were not in the same classroom nor the same hallway. Just going above and beyond. Wendy could not be here tonight, but when they delivered the desk, they forgot to deliver 9,000 screws to put the desk together. And so these gentlemen went to every Home Depot and Lowe's and Atwood's and Tractor Supply, every hardware store in Ellis County to scrounge up 9,000 screws, and they made it happen. And on a Monday morning, when our teachers walked back into their classrooms, they had desks, and every student had a desk to sit in. And I could not thank you enough. Thank you so much for all your hard work and dedication to serve the students and staff at WHS. We greatly appreciate you. You are part of this. I would like to invite my assistant principals to come and join me, because without all of them, this could not be possible. They are often my right hand and my left hand, and I cannot thank them enough for their continued support being here tonight as we highlight some great things going on at WHS. So at WHS, we are a campus where innovation thrives and growth is limitless. We exemplify our core values: choice, collaboration, belonging, and community. And this year, we were charged with changing our environment. And in so doing, we are set up to educate and serve and build tomorrow's leaders. And through that, we are doing that through a program we created at WHS called WHS Cares: Character, Achievement, Responsibility, and Empathy. WHS highlights these top areas we want to address. We spotlight empathy, service, achievement, responsibility, and character in all of our students. When we were charged with implementing a program to change the environment and help build leaders on our campus, we looked at several different programs. Many of those programs cost well over $100,000, and they just didn't quite fit the needs of WHS. We had a team. The team was made up of educators from across our campus, both paraprofessionals, teachers, support staff, clerical staff, and my AP team and counselors, put together a program that they thought would support the unique needs of Waxahachie High School. That's how we came up with Waxahachie WHS Cares. We presented these ideas and more at a training with our staff at the start of the school year. We did not want to overcomplicate the program. Teachers are working hard to incorporate the 5 pillars of WHS Cares into their daily instructional practices. Through deliberate instruction, WHS students will not only gain an understanding of the principles, they will learn to live them in their daily lives. Achievement's important to all of us, not only in the classroom, but in athletics, the arts, and community. Oh, are y'all making fun of Mr. Buck? Mr. Buck loves to have a good time. Every classroom and organization at WHS works hard to achieve success. This is our girls working hard over the summer to prepare for all things UIL state competition. Leadership training with Coach Villers. Coach Villers embraced our leadership model, and she was training students and partnering together to promote leadership and encourage responsibility and build character as a mentor leader, mentoring tomorrow's leaders. These are the philosophies that we encourage our teachers and staff to embrace. We are selecting a staff member of the week that exemplifies one or more of the 5 pillars of WHS Cares. They are being nominated by their peers and recognized by their leadership team. These are our first 4 weeks. Carissa Underwood, Remington Parker, and Cynthia Foreman, and Carrie Hollingsworth. They are simply excellent educators of the week for Waxahachie High School. Sponsored by the Simple Cafe, each of these recipients and a recipient every week moving forward will receive a gift certificate to the Simple Cafe where they will enjoy a meal with their family. And we look forward to honoring more educators in the coming weeks. Since the start of the pandemic, we've been forced to look at the things that students and educators bring with them into the learning environment. Within this program, we are embedding trauma-informed responses and working towards a learning environment where empathy and service towards others and a traditional response to adults and students alike are exemplified. This starts with collaboration and responsibility to all stakeholders. We offer many choices and opportunities for the students to become involved in our WHS community. Being involved outside of the WHS academic classroom opens doors to serve in a variety of opportunities and strengthens students' responsibility and develops relationships that foster empathy towards others. There we go. It takes a few minutes to load that one. Every student belongs at WHS. And given the opportunities to shine, our partner PE class gives students chances to partner and build relationships with students who have a variety of abilities. This program is a place where students learn to serve others and build empathy towards all students at WHS. It won't let me play them. There we go. Okay, there we go. And this one, each of our partner PE classes, they go through units of study, and this was a unit on bowling. They had a really good time partnering with other students on campus. Yeah, that was Inez right there. That was Inez. To grow academically, our teachers know the importance of producing engaging lessons. At WHS, our teachers work hard to present engaging lessons to capture the hearts of every learner. Students work in collaborative groups throughout our campus daily to achieve a high level of excellence. They were charged with building a vertebra out of a variety of items. This particular group chose rice cakes and marshmallows. This is a student collaboration group, again, working to build a vertebra in one of our medical terminology classes. And we are also educating the teachers of tomorrow, and we take that seriously. Education is the biggest service industry, and we have an opportunity to give our WHS students practice to take on education that we will someday leave here, and they're going to serve us well. At WHS, we value collaboration, students collaborating to create medical models to demonstrate mastery. Through lessons embedded with collaboration, students learn to take collective responsibility of their learning and develop cooperative character traits that will enable them to be more successful now and in the future. This is some of our medical terminology classes. They are dissecting gummies. And then this one, we have students are given choices to create their own mind maps and to go through free response questioning together to improve their mastery in AP Human Geography. This is a student-centered classroom, and lessons throughout our campus embrace WHS Cares in a student-centered environment. By giving students responsibility of their learning, they are building character, enabling students to achieve at a higher level. At WHS, we promote WHS Cares, and we believe in rewarding students for their efforts. Our program is built on teaching students the value of leadership and hard work. WHS values dedication, determination, and the hard work of our students by offering a reward system. Our reward system is based on a bronze level for 9th grade. 10th grade will receive silver, 11th grade gold, and 12th grade platinum. We will be offering rewards such as off-campus lunch, parking passes, tickets to games, and allowing students to hang out in our newly designed collaboration areas. The far picture is the new collaboration. It's an outdoor eating space where our juniors and seniors, our gold and platinum recipients, can enjoy some time having lunch. Ms. Bridges will serve a special lunch, salads and sandwiches and burgers and things of that nature out in that area. And thank you again to Stephen Mott and Andy and Geronimo for helping make this a reality, seeing my vision and understanding it. The other collaboration areas are collaboration areas where students that present a gold, platinum, silver, or bronze pass, they have finished the lesson. They may choose to go and work on homework or study in one of our open collaboration areas at WHS. And that's just some of what we're offering at WHS. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Mr. Autry, just in case you didn't know, you're the chef for that back patio, so we'll see you then. Thank you, Board and Dr. Hollingsworth.
Next item on our agenda will be our open forum. We do not have any speakers signed up to speak tonight, so we will go to item number 5, reports, our superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is our first of the year for our monthly enrollment in ADA. You can see where we started on the first day of school. Well, actually on August 15th. That was not the first day of school, but on August 15th, we're at 10,620 overall. And you can see that we have moved to 10,782 as of the end of August. I can tell you as of today, this morning we were at 10,806. And so if you look at that right-hand column, that's where we are today, elementary and secondary. You can see our numbers for 21-22. We were at 10,086. So we've grown over 700 students since this time last year. We ended the school year at 10,140. So we've grown over 600 students since May. So it's real, and it's something that we're adjusting to on a daily basis. Wanted to give y'all an update on the work of our long-range facilities planning committee. As y'all know, we met twice in the spring. We resumed our work this past Wednesday on September 7th. An overview of that meeting, we reviewed our demographic information. We provided updated financial data for this school year. We provided ample opportunities for Q&A. Anybody that was on that, that's a group of about 75 folks, and anybody who was on there can tell you that there's lots of opportunity for Q&A. And we reviewed facilities enhancements that have been completed over the past 5 years. So if you think about the work that we've done, for example, flooring at Shackelford, that's an example of the kinds of enhancements that Mr. Calden went over with our team to show them how it is that through conservative budgeting, we're able to enhance the current facilities we have with extra monies we may have at the end of a fiscal year. And then finally, our next meeting has been scheduled for Wednesday, September 21st. That will be our second fall meeting. We have a total of 6 meetings that are scheduled for this fall. Finally, I want you to know about campus rounds. This is where we go on to campuses. I have begun the process of going on each of our 16 campuses. And what we do is we present a brief update to our teachers, and then we give them an opportunity to talk back to me about anything they want to. But these are the prompts that we give them that are there on the right-hand side. They're invited to give us information about things that we may want to start doing as a district or a campus, things we should stop doing, things we should continue that are working really well, or things that we should do more of. We ask them specifically, what are ways that we may better honor and support you in your role as teachers or as staff? And then finally, is there somebody in the district that they would like to recognize for great work that they're doing? And so that's what our campus rounds look like. I've done 2 of those campuses. I'm going to Global on Friday, and we'll continue that process throughout the fall. That concludes my presentation.
Any questions for Dr. Hollingsworth? Okay. Next item is our informational update for WISD School of Choice. Dr. Penneker.
All right, thank you, Board. Dr. Hollingsworth. A couple of quick updates for you since the last time I came and spoke. Some of the training that's been happening at Marvin Elementary, Marvin Biomedical Academy. We've continued with the NCST training, the National Certificate for STEM Training. We've got 12 new teachers that will be going through that training, and we've been kicking off that cohort this week. Miss Abby and her team will work with these teachers and get them up to speed and bring them along with the rest of the campus that went through this training last year. SAMR was something that I talked about at the last board meeting as well. Really moving kids away from just consuming technology in the classroom to creating technology in the classroom. So instead of using apps on an iPad, they could get to the point where they're creating apps on an iPad and using things digitally that we would have done on paper before. And so the last bullet that I've got right there is taking a digital portfolio that students have of the work they're doing in the classroom and sharing that work with the teacher and then with their classmates in the class. So taking a lot of the paperwork that they were doing before and just transferring and making that digitally. And this is a training that's gone on for a couple of weeks. So they did the first round of training about 2 weeks ago. They're coming back in a few weeks and they'll finish the second round of training there on that campus. And I wanted to show you a couple of things that have been happening on this campus. Part of the cool thing about being a biomedical academy is getting to bring life to this campus. And so these are some animals that are actually on the campus. So if you get a chance to go by there someday, you can go and visit with the rabbit or the hedgehog or the tortoise that's right there. Ms. Polk is especially fond of that tortoise. She's trying to figure out how we can get a giant tortoise to live in the courtyard, but we're still working through the details on that one right now. But it's really cool to see these kids interact. There was a couple of grants that the campus applied for last year, and one through the Education Foundation. So they have an animal library on campus that the teachers can check out animals to bring to the classroom and let the kids work with them and learn about them. So as they're going through and learning about science, they can look at the habitat, the ecosystem of these animals and incorporate that into the traditional classroom that they get to work on there. And then the next picture, each of the classrooms is partnered up with somebody from Baylor Scott & White. On the first day of school, several of you were there. We had Baylor Scott & White out front. They were ringing a bell, clapping hands, high-fiving kids in the hallway. It was a really cool experience to get to see them there. They all came out in their scrubs or their medical attire, and so the kids got to visualize what that looks like and some of the stuff they'll get to work on this year with the campus. And Dr. Hollingsworth and Mrs. Polk will be giving a board presentation for the Baylor Scott & White board on October 5th. Open house at Marvin will be this Thursday. We've got an installation that's happening today, or finishing up today, and something that's going to be really cool that we can show off, really showing the collaboration cross-curricular on this campus. And so math teachers can take a lesson that they're doing in the classroom and transfer that lesson over to the PE teachers, and they can continue that lesson in an interactive way. So if you get a chance to come by on Thursday to check out their open house, I'd encourage you to go by and do that. Any questions? Thank you.
I just want to add in, we've given a lot of love to Ms. Polk, rightfully so, and her team, but I also want to just give a shout out to Dr. Beneker and our entire teaching, learning, and innovation team. They've done a phenomenal job in the back, behind the scenes. Really appreciate your leadership on it. Good work.
Next item, reports is under C, informational update for Parent Square, the new platform that will be used by the district to streamline communications with families. Ms. Bridges?
Good evening again, board. I'm so excited to speak with you about Parent Square. Parent Square is a system that is really going to help us streamline communication between school and home. So right now in our district, communications between school and home can happen in a number of different ways. And we have heard from families for several years now that if you have multiple kids in the district, it can be really difficult to know where to look to get all the information that you need. And so Parent Square is going to provide the district with a direct connection from school to home, and will next year be the only communications channel that we are using to connect with families. Parent Square offers opportunities for engagement. So it has a Facebook-style news feed where teachers can post photos that can be seen by parents and others in their child's classroom. It decreases our time to get communication out to families. So we have been using at a district level School Messenger, and it is a wonderful product, but Parent Square has cut our time down to get out a message by about 80%. We can get a message out to families in about 2 minutes rather than 10 minutes. Part of that is that it offers two-way translation. So that really helps us with our families who speak languages other than English. They can customize the language that they want their communication to come in. And if they are messaging with their child's teacher, that their message, they could write it in Spanish or whatever other language. It'll come right back to the teacher in English. So it's like they're communicating each in their native language. We have options that allow families to receive communication in the way that works best for them. So as an example, I really like to get my communication by email, and that's where I go to look for things. But I know Dr. Hollingsworth loves to get a text message. And so using Parent Square, we can customize that so that I can get things the way I want them, as can Dr. Hollingsworth.
Jenny, I want to tell them,
Sure.
that day, we had the water outage at WHS, and I was letting y'all know as I tried to by text, Jenny was in Midlothian for training, and so from her car in the parking lot, she wasn't moving, by the way, but from her car in the parking lot, she was able to send notification from Mrs. Harris to all WHS families. I got one immediately, and then y'all will remember we quickly got the water back on. 10 minutes later, she sends another one, and it was just so fast, so easy. And the beauty of, it's really nice for a principal to know that we've got her covered on communication with 3,000 families. And we were talking to the front office, and I asked them, I asked Ms. Henderson, how many phone calls did y'all get on that day? 3,000 families, two phone calls. One person came to pick a kid up out of 3,000. And there was a dad standing there listening to us talk, and he goes, that communication was great. Yeah, that's what so he was a big fan.
Yeah, we're very, very excited about all the opportunities that this offers us. But we also know that people really like the way that they used to do things. And so for this year, we are giving everyone a grace year. So if they want to switch to Parent Square, they are more than welcome to do that. If they want to keep using what they've been using, they're welcome to do that as well for this year. And then we will transition the entire district so that everyone is on Parent Square next year. We will offer training opportunities for our staff. So we are planning to have Parent Square representatives come and do training at Camp iNation. And then we will also provide them with some training before school starts next year, in addition to the robust training materials that Parent Square already offers on their website. So, can I answer any questions about Parent Square? Yes, ma'am.
I saw on the different things, is it gonna take the place of like Skyward and all that?
It will not, it won't take the place of Skyward as our student management system. It'll just take the place of Skyward as a communication method. So right now, a lot of teachers will send messages out through Skyward. We would like everyone to transition to sending out everything through Parent Square so that parents know they have one place to look.
Okay, so the grade book and all that still be
The
in
grade book and
Skyward?
everything will still be in Skyward, yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else?
No, thank you very much.
Board.
Okay, our last item on the report's the informational update on the WISD Balanced Scorecard Priority 2. Dr. Avery?
Yes, sir, Mr. Autry. Thank you, Board, Dr. Hollingsworth. I'm here tonight to talk about our first ever presentation on our new WISD Balanced Scorecard. It seems like it's a little bit out of order. We have established what is called a cadence of accountability, where we will present different pieces of our scorecard in different months of the year. And we started with Priority 2, which is honor and support staff. We'll come back next month with Priority 1, which is student growth. Okay, and then the following month will be about community, and the last month before we get out for the Christmas break, right around December board meeting, will be about our financial integrity. So that's kind of how that will work this fall. So we know where we are as far as our vision and our core values, but every time we talk about our scorecard, we talk about what our vision and our core values are, because we believe they are all connected. So in Priority 2, we had 4 performance objectives. One was to honor staff contributions and achievements. One was to annually increase faculty and staff satisfaction and engagement, to promote collaborative culture by engaging instructional staff in practice of a professional learning community, and to invest in staff growth through professional learning and specialized training. So for Priority 1, 2.1, key strategic action, to honor staff contributions, establish and sustain a regular system of staff recognitions. I think we had a very great example of a lot of that tonight, when we saw staff members that had done excellent work or been nominated by their own faculties, their own colleagues for the work that they do, and we got to see that tonight. One of the things, part of the balanced scorecard, is each area has a long-term desired outcome. And we landed on this one for this particular 2.1A, was we would like by 2026 for WISD to have a secondary and/or elementary school teacher to be chosen as a Region 10 Teacher of the Year. We believe we have fantastic teachers in our district. We believe that we can get one of our teachers to win that award. That would also put them towards the state award. So that's our long-term goal. We know that we recognize staff. This picture was actually taken back in August, I believe, as we recognize our security staff for their outstanding work at graduation, where they were able to identify some folks that didn't belong on the field. They were able to intercept them, and turned out that they most likely were up to kind of no good, and we would get them out of our area. And that was because of the hard work that they did. So each month, we will recognize 2 to 3 campuses or departments. We'll highlight a campus or department level. One of the things we've done this fall already is we've honored our AP teachers, the advanced placement teachers at Waxahachie High School. We've had our second AP student and teacher recognition breakfast. We were excited to give out $27,000 worth of teacher incentives for their AP testing rate, and also $19,000 in test reimbursement checks for students who passed their AP test. We had, I believe it was around a 40% increase in number of students that took AP tests this year from last year. So pretty excited about that, and we're pretty excited about the teachers that help our kids get there. Priority 2.2, annually increase faculty and staff satisfaction and engagement. We know in this job market that that's very important for us because we know it's very competitive. The creation of and distribution of a survey to all staff spring of 2023, develop and implement listening and learning protocols to create action-oriented responses from staff survey results, and develop and implement connection and collaboration rounding, listening and learning with staff to determine level of engagement and actionable follow-up. That's implemented this fall. Our long-term desired outcomes here, first and foremost, we had a very low participation rate last year by our staff in our staff survey. That was not the way we want it. We want more staff to participate because we believe the more that do, the better the data we will have. We had about 22.5% of our staff participate in our survey last spring. We would like to double that by this spring. We know that 45% is not as high as it can be, but we want to double it, at least double it by this spring. That's our goal for this spring. We would also like to maintain an 85% or better staff satisfaction rate. One of the things that we have done from our data from last spring is we gave every campus got a kind of a one-pager, which is a guide for them, very similar to what Dr. Hollingsworth is doing with his campus rounds. What are we doing well? What should we stop doing? What can we do more of? How well can we support you? Our campuses put those one-pagers together based on their data. I also want to share our district survey by the numbers. We had 365 staff participate, 1,452 elementary school students, and 1,890 secondary students. Those are all from WHS and Findlay, and 731 parents participated in our survey. We obviously would like to have more because we think the more participation, the better data we get. And you can see that picture down there. That's Dr. Hollingsworth at Wildman doing one of his first campus rounds that he described earlier in his report. So what is our long-term desired outcome from develop and implement listening and learning protocols? We want to have the lowest teacher turnover rate in Ellis County by 2026. We typically have a very low teacher turnover rate. In fact, by the last taper report, that was 2021, our turnover rate was around 11.6%. The state's turnover rate, I believe, is 14.3%, well below the state. We would like to be the lowest in Ellis County. We know who we're competing against for the most part around. I think Palmer typically beats us by a little bit, but we're in second place, and that's where we've been so far. We want to be the best. Current progress update. We believe this is still a work in progress. We think we'll have better information by 2023, but our raw data right now has a 15.63% turnover rate. That's our raw data. Not sure if that's where we'll end up because we have to, PEMS will help us with that, but right now that's what our HR department was able to supply us for this report. One of the things that Dr. Hollingsworth had mentioned earlier is that it's not just recruiting new staff, but retaining the staff we have, which is also why a big part of this balanced scorecard priority is about honoring and supporting the staff that we have. We want them to stay with Waxahachie ISD. Progress measures, develop and implement connection and collaboration, rounding, listening and learning with staff to determine level of engagement and actionable follow-up. We believe this will improve classroom instruction and collaboration between campus and district leadership. One of the things that I'm really excited about as a district leader this year is something that we put together with our elementary and secondary principals. We have a weekly update now. You can see that's kind of that is our scoreboard. Everybody plays harder when there's a scoreboard. We have a scoreboard of how we're doing with our weekly walkthroughs. And what happens is we meet, Dr. Hollingsworth and I, or Dr. Hollingsworth and Mrs. Mott and Dr. Binnicker, we meet with them each week. They tell us what their goal is for the week, a number of walkthroughs with feedback. Tanya Harris, how many are you going to do? She's, I'm going to do 5. Ken Lynch, I'm going to do 4. We get their commitment, and then we come back a week later and we talk about how did we do in our commitment? How did we do? What did we see? And how did those follow-up conversations go? It's very powerful learning going on with our principals together in this session. And what are we looking for? Those are our 4 classroom look-fors that we determined last year with collaboration between teaching staffs and district leadership, positive and purposeful interaction, posted and understood learning objective. That was the first item that we were looking for this year. The next one was collaborative learning environment. And number 4, effective instructional strategies. That's been the focus the past week, and it'll be the focus this coming week. Our next key strategic action, promote a collaborative culture by engaging instructional staff in the practice of a professional learning community. Create a consistent PLC culture throughout through the district through dedicated time and commitment to team collaboration. Collaboratively identify and monitor the implementation of essential TEKS and implement initiatives of the Guiding Coalition. So we can see how we're doing in this one right here. Our long-term goal is that every teaching staff will have a dedicated PLC period by 24-25, and that our campus leadership is able to participate. That's not just the principals, they have assistant principals too, but to participate at least 90% of the PLC meetings each semester. We have the number 18 there. Typically, we're a 36-week school year, typically 18 to 17, depending on the semester. You can see how we're doing on this. This is kind of hard to read. There's a lot of words up there, but this is a snippet of the Whs Master Schedule. If you can see right there at the top, you see English 1, English 1, English 1. You see conference. Those are all aligned conferences, or those teachers have conferences at the same time. If you look down the schedule, you see they have PLC all at the same time. And you can follow that throughout the schedule, conference and PLC periods. Mrs. Harris did a great job of trying to align those conferences and PLCs together so those teachers can meet. You'll see that picture on the right. That was about the second day of school. I was walking through campus. I happened to walk by the LOTE, the Load Hallway, the Spanish hallway in that particular instance. And I popped in, and I saw 5 Spanish teachers all working together. Those 3 folks sitting in the desk talking to 2 other teachers that were up at the board with an example of student work, and they were talking to each other about how they use that actual work in their class. It was fantastic to see that in place, already in action on the second day of school. Collaboratively identify and monitor the implementation of essential TEKS to ensure student learning. This was another very big part of our solution tree training with PLC training. We got teachers together. They met in grade level bands or content area specialist bands, content area bands, to determine what the essential TEKS were. We talk about a lot with our curriculum. Sometimes we'll say it's an inch deep and a mile wide. We want to make sure that we're hitting the essential TEKS that kids must have and must be able to do before they move on to the next level. So we had our teachers came in, and we can see this is an example of just one of the many, many documents that our teachers put together. This is ELAR Secondary Essential Standards Development for 21-22. That's what they did last spring, and you can see how each TEK is listed, and they have them by grade level. Okay, so that was the work. Some really, really hard work by our teaching staff that came together.
David, I want to add in, Board, if y'all realize in every single subject area, there's a dizzying array of TEKS that a teacher is expected to teach. It's too many. And so what this is it makes teachers' jobs better because we're able to identify what's essential. And that's what they're able to focus their attention on with their students.
And the picture on the right is just an example of our elementary school team, one of our elementary school teams working together to identify their essential standards. Implement initiatives of the Guiding Coalition. Every campus has a Guiding Coalition. They went through Guiding Coalition training with Solution Tree. And again, this is going to link back to Priority 1, which is student growth. The better we are in the PLC process, the better we are of identifying our essential teaks, the better we are at meeting together, talking together, and working together to solve those problems together, not just as an individual teacher. We believe that we will see improved student academic outcomes. Here's just an example of those guiding coalitions. You can see Tim Day and Ken Lynch and Tanya Harris in the back over there working with their respective teams in the guiding coalition training this August. 2.4, invest in staff growth through professional learning and specialized training. And we want to collaboratively develop a professional learning system focused on the growth of all staff, establish and sustain goal-setting processes for individual and professional learning, and the PLC process will be embedded throughout the entire district, including departments and campus staff. You can see in that picture, we have that's training for new teachers on the 4 C's: collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and creativity. Those are folks new to our district. We can see our teachers working together to unpack essential standards and create common formative assessments. That way, when they get back together in their PLC teams, they can speak with one another about how did your class do? How did my class do? How did you do that better than mine? Mine didn't do as well. That's what they're trying to work on. We are also in the process of becoming a TIA district, a teacher incentive allotment. You can see right there, there's 3 different categories for teacher incentive allotment. We actually had a teacher that came to our district from another district that came with some TIA money that they get paid. You can see the large amount that teachers can earn if they earn the master level amount for TIA. We believe that by us engaging in this process, we give our teachers an opportunity to see and feel the value with a significant financial benefit. Now, this was I talk to principals all the time about the power of a good walkthrough. This was Dr. Hollingsworth actually stopped by Northside the other day and just happened to come into a fantastic PLC meeting at work at Northside. These teachers were working on their last common assessment, and they were looking at all their students and seeing where they fell. You can see them working together, and they have a district administrator, their campus administrator in there with them, working with them on that process. We also work together as a district PLC, and I would characterize our Monday morning district leadership check-ins as a PLC meeting, because we were working together, campus leadership, talking to each other. What are they seeing? What are you seeing in the classroom? How did that follow-up conversation go? You know, what do you want to see differently next time? It's been very powerful, I believe, for our district leadership, and it's been great for me. I can tell you that from my perspective. Next steps, next month, we've already started working on Priority 1. It's a data gathering process. We're working on Priority 1 right now, cleaning up some of the work that we did earlier in the year, and we'll have a good report for you in October with Priority 1 data. If you have any questions, I'm happy to try to answer them.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Great work, Dr. Averett. Really appreciate all you've done on this. Really.
Okay, next item would be item 7, consent agenda, where we have pretty short consent agenda, items A through E. Motion to approve consent agenda items A through E by Mr. Schofield. Is there a second? Second by Ms. Timmerman. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 5-0. Next item would be under action item A, consideration with possible action to approve an agreement with Next Step Counseling LLC to provide mental health counseling services during the 2022-2023 school year at a cost not to exceed $298,800. Mr. Calden.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, Board. Dr. Hollingsworth. This past school year that we were in, we used semester 3 money to provide mental health counseling services across our district. We have 20 days per week of mental health counseling services, so it's not just a specific person at a specific campus. We can use those across the district. We are looking to increase that to 25 days per week.
Per month?
No, per week. It's per week. And so, which roughly would equate to 5 full-time people per month. And the cost is $298,800, and this again, we come out of ESSER 3 money for this school year in response to survey requests.
Mr. Colden, I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Could you say that statement again? It's 25 days per,
It's essentially 25 person days per week.
Okay, there you
So you're going to have, if you've got 5 days in a week, you're going to essentially have 5 people per day. 5 people at 5 days will give you 25 days in that week. And
Okay,
last year it was
25.
Last year it was 20
Okay.
service days or provided days within that week. So it would have been 4 people last year, 5 people this
Okay,
year.
thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
That's the way the contracts are written.
Any questions for Mr. Collins? Okay, I entertain a motion to approve action item A as presented. Motion by Ms. Timmerman. Second by Mr. Schofield. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries 5-0. Action item B, consideration of possible approval to approve the modified purchase order to Honey's Roofing for $583,600 instead of $570,000 to remove obsolete items from rooftops.
Board, I'm asking to amend a purchase order that you approved back in July so that we can rent a couple of extra cranes to remove some old HVAC units off roofs. Why we left them up there when they're obsolete and not working, I don't know, but we would like to remove those so they do not become a problem on the roofs of these campuses. It's 2 of them at Global and 3 of them at Marvin.
Any questions, Mr. Calder? Okay, I entertain a motion to approve action item B as presented.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Kriegel,
Second.
second by Mr. Rogers. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you, Board.
And I need a motion to adjourn. Motion by Mr. Schofield. Second by Ms. Timmerman. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you very much.